little hard, aren't I?
Yes, you are.
First off, let's have our invocation. I believe Rob's got it, since he's got a mouthful of food.
Oh, thanks, Ralph.
No problem.
Talk amongst yourselves.
Don't take such big bites.
Right out of the chute. All right. Okay, so I'm going to stand at the pulpit today because I get to do the invocation, and I'm going totally off script. I already apologized to all the appropriate people except for you, Boyd. So, so my invocation is I'm taking this opportunity to thank Ken for notifying me that I was up, because giving the invocation is really a privilege, and I just made a few notes that I'll refer to. This will take no more than 5 minutes. But I figure that invocation is kind of like jury duty in that it's a privilege and it's an honor being in the club to give the invocation. And when I was thinking about, okay, what am I going to do to give the invocation, I thought, hey, this is a great opportunity to remind you guys, all and girls, that don't shirk this duty. It's really cool because you get to share your faith with your friends and fellow members, and you get to pray, really for yourself, not for you guys, but ask blessing on everybody. So that way you can pray your own faith without feeling like people are being offended. Hopefully, so I wanted to, and it's kind of like a happy dollar for God if you think of it that way. So, so my first recommendation is kind of like Invocation 101, although I'm no professor for it, but what I would recommend is pray for yourself. That way you get to pray your faith, don't offend anybody. And keep it brief, although that doesn't apply to me. But if you don't keep it brief, you will be accused, as I was one time, of giving a Ricky Bobby prayer from like Talladega Nights, so that's not good. So my only other advice is, what I always turn to when I'm going to give the invocation is, using something I learned long ago. It's Christian-based, but I think it applies to all faiths. It's the word acts, A-C-T-S. So acts, stands for adoration. And, for as a Christian, you give adoration to God. And a lot of people say, no, a God that creates you to be adored, isn't that kind of narcissistic? No. It's no more narcissistic than if you're a parent and you have kids. Anybody that's a parent who had kids, you didn't do it for selfish reasons, I assure you. So adore your Creator with the created beings. So the other thing is C, and that's
All of us together?
yeah, everybody stand up. C is confession, yeah. Confess the things that you've done that are wrong. I've broken every one of the 10 Commandments in thought, word, or deed. Most of them not deed, but so confess, be honest with yourself, confess to your God, and things are good. T is Thanksgiving, which, give thanks. Give thanks for the stuff you got. We got legs, we got fingers, we got eyes and ears. We got so much to be thankful for. Driving to work today, driving here today. Sunset over Lake Jeanette. Wow. Incredible. And finally, S. Is supplication. I never understood supplication, but it means it's basically you're saying, hey God, this is what I need. Supply me with what I need. The thing that we get caught up on is asking for things that we want instead of what we need. So we just ask for it, and that it be God's will. So if you'll bow your heads real quick. Dear Heavenly Father, thank you for creating us and for giving us this opportunity, breath in our lungs this morning. You're an incredible creator, provider, and lover of us, and we just ask that you would forgive us of the things that we've done wrong. Help us to mend our ways and to do your will. Father, we're so thankful for all of the blessings that we have, our health, our family, our wealth of friends, our resources, just all the things that we have comes from you. And we just ask that you would guide us today, that you would bless us food, nourish our bodies, that you would help this club to do your will and be the hands and feet of you to those who we serve. And all these things I ask in your Son's name, Jesus. Amen. All right, thanks. Oh, all right, I'm not done. The Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And of the things we think, say, and do,
Is the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? Will it be beneficial to all concerned?
All right, before we do the Sergeant of Arms report, I'd like to welcome, please stand and welcome our District Governor, Lord McGarvey. I'd also like to welcome 3 other district governors. John, I think I saw John Spillmore. Yes, John is still in the back. District Governor-elect Claudia Kenny. Randy Perkins, 2019, 2020.
Yes, thanks.
Assistant Governor Susie Kelly. If y'all recall how Chris used to complain about all the heavy brass coming in, this is my second meeting, and see what we get. This is going to be a fun year.
Past District Governor Mike Conrad.
Well, pass. And of course his wife, but we'll let Wayne take care of that one. Wayne, could you give us the Sergeant of Arms, please?
We have several guests today. We have Tom Nolan, who is a visiting Rotarian from Marion, Illinois. We have Tim Hansen, who is at the airport road. And of course, we have Marianne Conrad, who's Mike Conrad.
All right, Dale, anniversaries and birthdays.
Yes. We have one of each today. We'll get out of this tablecloth here. Rusty Hoffman is having a birthday on the 11th of July. Guy Ravondo is going to have his 9th anniversary as a Gate City Rotarian. And Tom and Julie Nelson are having a wedding anniversary, or just had a wedding anniversary on July 7th, which I missed.
I've got some good news for the club, good or bad, I don't know how you're going to take it, but effective, I guess, our first meeting in August, we are bringing back the Family Feud. After I mentioned I wasn't sure I was going to do it, some of the faces in here, I mean, it was like, I thought, everybody hates it until it's gone. But for the morning, we can show some socks. Do we have some little socks, anybody? Do we have any, do we need to show anybody else's? District Governor wins by default. I would say. No socks. Yeah, except for the no socks.
I went to the class this morning. Wearing the Mona Lisa.
Always a strong contender. Do we have any announcements? Any service or any announcements of any sort? We're starting the year. We just had our first President's Boards meeting this past Tuesday, so we're getting the ball rolling. We've got everything stacked up. We're going to have a nice meeting after breakfast this morning and really get our year kicked off. Again, being the second meeting, we're still working out some kinks. So with that being said, if nothing else, let's do Happy Dollars.
Happy Dollars! Yeah.
Make it easy for you. If I can find it.
I didn't want to say anything. The last official meeting we had, because I didn't want to jinx it, but we closed on our house 2 weeks ago, which was amazing because it flooded the day after due diligence. The second happy dollar is for alcohol because I'm now living with my in-laws for a while.
Chris, look at Chris, all right.
All right, so 3 happy dollars. Number 1, the Green Valley Gators, repeating as champions of city. All right, and sticking with the city meet theme, we did win the the award for the sports side of it, but equally as important, and I hate she's not here today, but every year, it's now Gail's responsibility to get the Stansel Award at City Meet. I didn't know this, but the Stansel Award's been going on for 37 years at this point. It was originally named after Hal's mom, and Hal was actually added to the plaque this year. But it was great for Gail to stand up, and the Green Valley Gators won the Stansel Award this year as well, which is huge. And Kaylee won the Coaches Award for 11th grade.
Yes, I have a bunch, 3 I think. First one, I missed the 4th of July holidays here, but it's not so bad because instead I went off one of my many trips to Germany, but this one's kind of a non-routine. I could take Cynthia, and we had a big party. We had the 80th anniversary of our company, so we had 3 days of celebration. At the end, a big party on an island in the Rhine with 750 guests from more than 50 countries, so that was really fun. Second one is because Cynthia with me, we had a chance and had a day to visit the family of our last exchange student we hosted. Merit, I don't know if you still remember her from a couple of years back. Merit herself is not there. We had her over for Christmas because she does a volunteer year in Colombia. But we saw her mom and sister, and we spent the day there in Dortmund, in the VVB stadium, so that was fun. So that's my second dollar. Third, last but not least, started a very sad story that in May we lost our English lab in the age of 14 impact. And ever since then, we've been looking for a successor. Another English lab. This is not so easy because the breeders are really serious. You have to get approved, write essays. But we finally, so we found one, and last Sunday, he had jet lag, so we said, we picked her up. We said, oh, we came back Saturday. Said, what time can we pick her up? We said, we can be there at 6. Every morning we picked up our new English lab puppy named Alika, 12 weeks old now.
Oh, wow.
You actually wrote an essay?
Yes.
Can we read it? I'm really curious. I really would have because like my daughter was about 8 years old, she started going, please, I want a dog or a puppy tomorrow. She did it for about 4 days, and we finally got her a dog.
I've got a happy 5. I've got my son just came back, my 16-year-old son just came back from Philmont, which is out in New Mexico. It's a scout camp, and he was out there for 14 days on the trail for 12, and I was going to make it a game, but I'd see if anybody could guess it, but he was on the trail for 120 miles. He hiked, and in 12 days, he lived out a 40-pound pack, so very, very proud of him. You know, he was nervous about going, didn't know if he wanted to go. Went because a friend asked him, and he's not like this gung-ho scout or whatever, so he went, and he came back, and he hadn't been talking, I mean, he hadn't stopped talking since Saturday about how great of an experience, and it's good to see that out of the 16-year-old. That's right.
Well, I see.
We celebrated my father's 94th birthday on July 2nd. And for as long as I can remember, my father we always played golf, and he always wore FootJoy street shoes. These black and white saddle Oxfords. They look just like golf shoes, and he lives in those things. And they quit making them like 100 years ago. He had this one pair that were ancient. He kept getting them, shined up and all that. And it occurred to me, I went on eBay and I found a guy that had 100 pairs of size 9C FootJoy street shoes and golf shoes, and I bought him like a brand new pair. It's like unbelievable.
Oh, my
Those aren't called foot joys, those are called rah-rah.
That's hilarious. Well, I've got a happy dollar. I sort of hate to admit this, but you know, I'm becoming more like Grandpappy Lewis all the time. I ended up last week getting hearing aids, and damn, y'all are loud.
I just wanted to thank Judy Brumley for, where it was, 2 weeks ago, our first meeting of the transition on the private first class of arms in charge of the lottery tickets. But Judy came in, even though she wasn't coming to the meeting, she came at 6:30 in the morning to train me how to do it. And then you unfortunately had to leave. But I really appreciated it and showed great dedication.
Well, Grandpappy was telling me about, he said, you know, really, the real dilemma about staying fit is, he said, I really want buns of steel, but I also really want buns of cinnamon.
Thank you, Buster.
I have the honor today of introducing, can you hear me? Yes. Of introducing Lloyd Navarro. But I was going to tell you guys that I love these YouTube videos that you have that you're putting up on YouTube, except maybe today. However, I discovered that you guys are like the only club I think I know that can make a club assembly fun. And then I get here today and Rob makes an invocation fun. So I'm not sure which is, you know, which is tops. So maybe I should have come up with a funny invocation, you know, introduction for you.
It's not too late. It's not too late. Wing it.
Oh no, if I were quick on my feet, I could do that, but no, probably not. Lloyd has been a member of the Sand Hills Rotary Club since 1999. He's a recipient of the RI's Avenues of Service citation and the Rotary Foundation's District Service Award twice. After retiring in 2008 from 26 years of military service, he has continued his federal service career as a Department of Army civilian at Fort Bragg, North Carolina. In 1992, he married his wartime pen pal, Leslie Ruth Hamilton of Canada, Ontario. She's a registered nurse. Together they have a home in Pinehurst. Lloyd and Leslie are Paul Harris Fellows, multiple sustaining members, benefactors, major donors, and members of the Bequest Society, and Lloyd is a member of the Paul Harris Society. With that, if you'll please stand once again and welcome your 2017-18 District.
Hey, good morning. I'm absolutely delighted to be here and be with each and every one of you. I will speak from the pulpit here because I still am tethered to my notes as I'm still trying to memorize this presentation that I'd like to give. And I have changed it up from club to club to keep it fresh for my compadres here that are following me, not only in district governor succession, but also they're coming around to all the clubs to meet y'all and also the other clubs as well. So thank you very much. I really am glad to be here. If I may, I'd like to thank Ralph for allowing me to step on, hijack, whatever it is, one of your very first meetings here. I know it's probably difficult settling in on a job, but I'm really glad that I'm allowed to come here as one of my first visits and do it. So thank you very much for allowing me to do this. You're learning the job as well. But I'll tell you, one of the official acts that I've asked him to do was to designate someone that is a difference maker in your club. Kind of going along with our theme this year, Rotary Making a Difference. And what he did was, and as I asked him to do this on his brag sheet, he singled out someone that is behind the scenes, that makes things happen. And we even heard in Happy Bucks, this individual was singled out as really being someone that helps people within this club. So without further ado, I'd like to call Judy Bramley to come on up. And Judy, what I'd like to do is I would like to present you the District Governor recognition of significance for your contributions as a difference maker in this club and in our district.
Thank you. It's very kind.
Thank you very much. Well, you heard in my bio that was in the military earlier and in my career, and I'm still associated with the military as a Department Army civilian. And I spent 3 years in Iraq during 2004 to 2007. And one of the great jobs that I had while I was there, I was a commandant of the counterinsurgency school in Iraq, training not only Iraqis but our American soldiers to fight insurgents during the Iraqi war during that time frame. And I had 47 instructors from the Marines, Navy SEALs, Army Special Forces, so on and so forth. They would all, most of them are killers, kick in doors and stuff like that. And they were dreaded to come and take the podium to speak, to impart their training and their knowledge. And one of the things I always told them when they took the pulpit, and what I always remind myself is, that I always told them to be brief, be brilliant, and then be gone. Well, I will tell you, I will be brief because I'm going to get you out of here on time. And you're going to have to determine for yourself whether or not this will be brilliant. But I will be gone to do the board meeting right after this. If nothing else, for the next 20 minutes, 18 minutes or so, remember this. And this is something that Ian, Risley, and myself truly want you to remember. That we, all of us, are on a journey this year to discover or rediscover that Rotary is making a difference. You're making a difference in your lives through service. You're making a difference in the lives around you through your connectivity with them, like ripples in a pond when you put a little drop in it. You're making a difference in your communities through your impactful and powerful projects. And you're also making a difference in the world through your contributions to the Rotary Foundation and other ways. That's exactly what we would like you to learn throughout this year, that you are on a journey to rediscover that you truly are, and us collectively as Rotary, making a difference. And for the next few moments, I'm going to underscore some of these things, and although I'm not telling you what you need to do, I'm going to suggest how you could really make a difference throughout this particular year. And much like Rob, I'm going to use mnemonic. I'm not going to do the YMCA type of thing. But I am going to use the word difference. And I'm going to spell that out and how we, collectively, and this club in particular, and you as Rotarians, can make a difference. So let's start with the letter D. Has anyone heard the phrase drop to zero? If you went down to the convention, you probably had heard that. Well, you certainly have heard we're this close. Have you heard that? Well, if you heard that we're this close, we are now moving to drop to zero. And what does that mean? We've had 5 active cases of polio this past year, and hopefully this year, but if not this year, then next year, and if not that year, the year after that, we will drop to zero, where we will fulfill our promise to the children of the world and end the scourge of polio. So D, drop to zero. Remember that over the next few years, that as we rid the world of polio through our End Polio Now campaign. I in the letter difference. I choose, at first I was going to choose investment, but I would tell you, looking as I did my history on this particular club, you have over the years, your 26 years of service in your community, in our communities, you've given $355,000 throughout your lifetime. Thank you very much. Give you some stuff. So investment truly is already in your club's DNA. So I will not choose the letter I for investment, but I will say that use the letter I for 3 things. Inform, incite, and inspire. And why do I say that? Because we are all people of action. And that's exactly what people of action do. If you look at the new Rotary website, right up front, it talks about people of action. That's what we Rotarians do. We inform, we incite, and we inspire. The F, Now there are a couple F's in the word difference, and the first F I'll underscore as fun. We're already seeing it in this club this morning. You know, even before I walked in these doors, I had heard the word Buster, and he puts the fun in this club in each and every one of you, and he gets you guys excited. So there's no doubt that this club truly has got that letter F in its part of its repertoire. So fun. But one of the things I do want to put at least the seed in your mind is when you think of the word fun, think of Pinehurst, North Carolina in May of 2018. Because that's where the district conference will be. So I want to put a plug in right now. Put that on your calendars, May of 2018, that we hope to have fun as a district in Pinehurst, North Carolina, and have a great time. It promises to be a great time as I meet with our district conference committee to make that a good time for everybody. The other F in the word difference is something that is really near and dear to my heart, and I'm going to tell a little story about this since I see that I have a little bit extra time. And that is turning fellowship into friendship. I experienced that last night. Thank you very much, Mary Ann and Mike, for hosting me last night. I have a drive up from Pinehurst area, and they made that time a little bit smaller by allowing me to stay at their home. That's an example of turning fellowship into friendship, and thank you very much for extending in that friendship to me. Now, the little story I do want to tell about turning fellowship into friendship deals with something that happened in 1960. It was actually the year that I was born. In 1960, there was a incident that happened between Russia and the United States. They shot down one of our aircraft in July 1st, 1960. Two members of the 6-member crew survived. The names were John McCone and Bruce Olmsted. And in my home, as I grew up, there was a book called The Little Toy Dog, and it was about John McCone and Bruce Olmsted's ordeal after they were fished out of the waters of the Barents Sea after being shot down by Russian aircraft. And they were held for 6 months in solitary confinement in Lubyanka prison. And as I read that book when I was a young child, my father was friends of both of those individuals. My father was not even present when I was born in September 1960, 3 months later, because he went and replaced their aircraft when they got shot down, and he both finished off their particular mission that they were doing for the United States. All this I never knew about until I read the book Little Toy Dog. And the Little Toy Dog books just sat on the mantle at home. They were both heroes of mine. Unfortunately, John McCone died in 2013, and as I was reading his bio, as I knew earlier, when I became a Rotarian in 1999, John McCone was a Rotarian. After his experience in ordeal, and experiencing what he did, he became a Rotarian, and an outstanding Rotarian up in the Washington, D.C. area. And when he passed on, I decided that I would like to go and not only represent my family, but also represent Rotary, our district, my club, to his interment in Arlington. So I reached out to the district governor that was up there and said, hey, if there's anything that has to do with Rotary, since he was a past district governor, I would like to attend. Total stranger, absolute total stranger. And Juanita Crawley, who was the district governor at the time, she said, don't worry about that. Wherever you stay at the hotel, she says, I will come and pick you up, we'll go together, because I want to learn more about that district governor, John McCone, because he was the district governor when I was president. So she came and picked me up, and we became friends. We went to the interment, and since then, that district governor has been a mentor of mine, and I've run ideas to her, turning fellowship into friendship, and that's exactly what we do as Rotarians. And leverage that. That's what Rotary brings to you, and the way that you can make a difference. Juanita Crawley, just from that one reaching out, is really making a difference in my life. The E in the letter difference, and there's a couple of E's, go with empower, energize, and enable. And why do I single this out? Because those three things are what leaders do to create a team. You can see some of my district governor compadres here, and you can see how the continuity even with John Spillman back there. How you doing there, John? Good to see you. You know, there's a lot of continuity, and part of that was that we were trying to build a team, a district governor team, from John to myself to Claudia and now to Randy. And we have a lot of help from past district governors, much like Mike Conrad here. So teamwork is very much a part of being a Rotarian, and as a result, the letter E, enable, empower, and energize. Keep that in your repertoire. The letter R in the word difference, resilience. How do we stay resilient as an organization? Membership, membership, membership. And that's something we'll be talking about with your board. You guys have a wonderful venue here, and membership has not been a problem in this club. So it certainly is on your radar with regard to that. And you can also look out there and you can see also diversity of men, women, creed, color, and all that. So you guys are also reaching out to the diversity when it comes to membership as well. Well done, and thank you very much for that. But keep resilience on your mind, because that is our future, to get younger individuals vibrant, to keep the club vibrant. Women into your organization, for more representation of the community. Thank you. The letter E, that is also in the word difference, I would like to say, use the word encouragement. I am the CEO. That does not mean Chief Executive Officer of our Rotary District. I am the Chief Encouragement Officer, and I see that as one of my greatest roles that I will fulfill this year. I am here to encourage each and every one of you as individuals and also as a club to do better, to do your best, to reach your potential, to make a difference this year. The letter N. When I was thinking of what would be a good thing to say with the letter N, I would say, you fill in the blank. Know whatever the blank would be. It could be no hunger as you support the rush effort. You know, past district governor, and I can say that now, past district governor John Spillman, it will be heading up our rush effort, and you will certainly take part of that. We've got a commitment that you will do that, and I thank you very much for supporting that district endeavor. No polio. If you look at your investments that you've made through your contributions, you certainly do that. So you are fulfilling that letter N and filling in the blank with whatever. But what I challenge you is to look at within yourself and say, how else would you leverage your particular passion, fuel your passion to say, no something, no whatever, and then make that happen through Rotary. The letter C. All right, I'll give it to you. The letter C. It's not confession, no. The letter C for collaboration. And that is something that you do to be a resilient club, and it also helps ensure your future. So, and you're doing that with some of your joint projects that you do, both in your area, but also with partners with your communities. So I thank you, and hopefully you will continue that particular collaboration, because it is only through collaboration and partnership that we build in sustainability to everything that we do. And then lastly, the letter E in difference is engagement. Certainly this club is engaged. When you look at some of the things that Ralph and I had talked about, and then also last night when I was talking with Mike, you know, your Camp Carefree that you've done, outstanding effort. You know, you're very much engaged in that particular endeavor. The youth with Tony, your youth in a sport through him of the Youth Exchange. That's a wonderful way that you are doing engagement. Need I say more than pig stock? That is truly a collaborative effort in which you are truly engaged in our district. Continue that, please. We need that. We need more of that engagement, not only within your club, but also within the district. Thank you very much. Now, time has come for me to say one more story, then I'll get off the podium here. And that is that I want to talk a little bit about a time that I was in Iraq. The year was 2005, and it was February 23rd. Does that date ring a bell to anyone? February 23rd, 2005. If it does not, that was the 100th anniversary of Rotary at that time. Rotary as an organization was 100 years, and unfortunately, I was not in the United States to celebrate that. It was also the day that I became, I believe, in my own mind, a true Rotarian. because I truly did want to celebrate Rotary's birthday. In some way, somehow, I wanted to reach out and make a difference. At that time, I didn't know I wanted to make a difference. I just wanted to celebrate Rotary. And so what I did was I decided that I was going to have a Rotary birthday party. And I invited 10 Iraqi village elders, and I asked them to invite 10 other individuals of their choosing to come and help celebrate with me Rotary's birthday. Of course, they didn't know about what Rotary was or anything like that, because Rotary has not been in Iraq. And I think it's either just beginning or I don't think it has been in Iraq. They've had projects done there, but the clubs are non-existent. So we had a birthday party, and I talked a little bit about Rotary, talked about the four-way test and the object of Rotary. We broke bread, as Iraqis do. We had, yes, the traditional cake, but we also had a lamb on a bed of rice, and we celebrated Rotary's 100th birthday. For them, it was, they did not know what Rotary was. And as they departed, I gave them a little memento. I got to pause just for a moment, because that memento is really the story, the key to this story. I found out later, after being in Iraq in that particular area for a year, that out of the 20 individuals that were at the birthday party, 13 had been killed simply because of the association. You can imagine how much that weighed on my mind, that maybe I've been the cause of 13 deaths. I found out later, because I stayed there for 3 years, that another 3 or 4 had died. I don't know whether they were killed because of the association, but I do know that out of the original 20, there were only 3 that really survived. And about a decade later, in 2012, I get a phone call from the State Department attaché, military attaché in Iraq. And the phone call went something like this. It said, ring, 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 and I answered the phone. And it said, is this Lieutenant Colonel Navarro? And I said, no, this is Mr. Navarro, I am retired now. And they said, well, that's great, that's super, we hold on for a minute. And some individual came on the line and started speaking Iraqi, Arabic, and there was an interpreter. And then he came and talked a little bit more, and then the interpreter spoke English to me on what he was saying. And the conversation went a little bit like this. He said, Mr. Navarro, he says, I want to thank you very much. My father passed away 6 months ago. He says, my father was one of those original individuals that you invited to a birthday party back in 2005. He said, that memento that you gave my father, which happened to be the four-way test just typed on an index card with a rotary pen attached to it. He says, that has been a treasured object in my family for many years. He said, my father kept this and believed in the words that you talked about. And as a result of you, the day that my father broke bread with you was the day that you were no longer my enemy. He said, and they passed that on to our family. Just a little gesture, a little card, rotary pen, and it made a difference that I didn't even know about. Those little gestures are something that you could do throughout your journey throughout this year. It doesn't have to be a big project or anything, but you truly can make a difference in your little gestures. I thank you for being here. Before I leave, I do want to say one thing. I have a district governor challenge. I think every district governor has got up here in the years, but I put a little bit of teeth behind my challenge. Okay? And that teeth is what you saw I gave Judy was a little dog tag, a district governor recognition of significance in the shape of a dog tag. And it has everything which I believe embodies this particular year as our district. Please take a moment to take a look at that, but you also can earn that by doing just 4 things. Okay? The first, bring in a new member. That doesn't necessarily mean a new member into your club. It could be a new member into the district here. But bring in a new member because we do need to grow our membership. Second, what I would like you to do is to make a contribution to Polio Plus. I'd like you to do at least $25. The district standard is to give at least $50 investment into the Rotary Foundation for Polio Plus. But give at least $25 personal contribution there in polio now. The third thing I would really like you to do is to be able to participate in the area and district signature project of Rush. Okay? You're going to do that already as a club. And the fourth thing I would personally really like to do, and this personally comes from Ian Risley all the way down to me and now to you. He would like every Rotarian to plant a tree. This, to him, is the ultimate sustainability project. Because after all, we all live here on Mother Earth and we need to sustain her. And so as a result, he has asked that each and every Rotarian throughout the world, can you imagine what the world would be like and making a difference for our Mother Earth? 1.2 million, each and every one of us planting a tree. So if you do those 4 things, you will earn yourself that district governor recognition of significance. I'd like to close with, I hope that you go, that you dare greatly in what you do, and that you go boldly. And you truly do, throughout this year, either discover or rediscover how you can make a difference, both as an individual and as a club. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.